What?
To
Dude,
what?
this story is insane.
Yeah.
The back end story is so crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, is this where you guys decide, okay, let's do an album?
Yeah.
Third year. No, you guys did the album like in fifth year.
Yeah, we did the album in fifth year. But in third year now, we just decided to take music seriously. In terms of at least make sure that we have try-afford tracks made by good producers.
So who was the first? Can you remember the producer you guys went to?
So because of Star Search, we also got one song to be produced, and I cannot remember. I just know that studio was in Ngara. I know that studio was in Ngara. It was a guy who'd recorded. I'm trying to remember because that was just a blip in there.
But do you remember
it was
the
not
song
like
you
a
recorded?
very fun studio experience. That song we didn't even use it.
Oh, so it didn't even stay in the album.
It didn't even get into the album at all. Like we just did it. We were not happy with it. We thought the producer was not really listening. By that time, we kind of knew what we wanted. We were clear because all our practice, we know how our voices work also.
Exactly.
So we want a producer who can work.
Yeah, don't give me a track. Listen to us and make a song from us.
Exactly. So we did that, and I think that's the guy who made Alex be like, guys, you know, I've been tinkering around with CG Fruity Loops and all these things. Do you think us guys should just, because we are seeming to be like guys who prefer to just make our own stuff, maybe that's what we should do? And we're like, you know what? If you want to do it, you do it. Why not? We don't see any makosa. We'll be saving money. As long as the quality is fantastic, why not? So Alex taught himself production. He was just curious about it. He bought some software, bought some things, I don't know what they're called, bought some equipment, and then we said, sawa, let's see. So he kind of tinkered around with things for about a year where he would play some things. We're like, okay. Like, okay, we saw that, okay, this could be serious.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we also went to Innovator to do one song. At that time, Innovator was hot fire. I mean, he always is, but that time he was Innovator. He was no longer. Now I'd say that he's no longer Innovator. He's Teamworks. Team Rimbui. He now goes with his whatever names. So we went to him to record Oh.
Oh man, nice.
But that was not the song that he wanted to record. So Innovator was one of the guys that we found that his process was like, okay, we're like, okay, this guy has a interesting process, because we went to him knowing that, like every other producer, we'd say we want to record this song, and they would be like, okay, let me hear the song.
How much?
Okay, let's do it. How much is it? Yeah. Ino said, do you guys have more songs? We're like, yeah, we have a lot of songs. We're like, okay, can I hear some of them? We're like, okay. So we'd put some of the tracks that Alex had made. We sing a song. He didn't want to record Oh after hearing some of the others. He was like, I think I want to record this other one. But us guys were also kitwangumu. We're like, we love Oh so much. And it's become, in JQuat, it was almost like a party anthem.
Yeah.
Everyone would get so hype when you perform it. So we felt like this should be a single. Yeah. So he was like, okay. I mean, I wouldn't advise you to do Oh, but I'll do it. So we went into studio, recorded that one afternoon when he was at Samawati.
Yeah.
And finished. Let me tell you, when that one came out, I think he even sent us like to just, like the first edit where you're like, listen to this, let me know whether it works.
Yeah.
It was so good. It was so good, let me tell you. There are guys in JQuat in a hall called Hall 4. Hall 4 was the one overlooking the basketball court.
Yeah.
There are some guys up there who are like some too rich to boys, but strangely enough, they were not rich atibabis.
Yeah.
People used to call them G-Unit. I'm going to be killed for this. People used to call them G-Unit, but not G. They were like Gusi Unit.
That's funny.
Because they're all Kisses. They were like, I guess people just like me. We come from Ocha, and then we have the bling, we have the whatever. So they look just like G-Unit, and they had a mad system in their room.
Yeah.
So we asked them to play the music, because their music was like the music that when a game is going on back here, it's them who play. Like serious music.
Yeah.
So they play, and you're like, oh my god, that thing sounds. So we're listening to it from downstairs, because they were at the top floor, fourth floor. We're listening from downstairs at the basketball court. Like,
that's us.
Oh, oh. Oh, oh. wangu, hebu sikiza. Siku za enda na siku za rudi, ni kukuruka kara. Ushawahi keti chini kujaribu kuzungumza na Mola wako mbinguni kila siku, lakini hakuwa jinsi nilivyojaribu kumwita, sikumhisi. Na jinsi nilivyojaribu kulia, karibu nijisi. Baadaye nilikuja kugundua, huwezi kuweka divai mpya ndani ya ile mfuko mzee. Lazima upate mfuko mpya uweze kuweka divai ile. Shukrani ni kwa Mungu, alinichagua, akanirarua na akanipea divai mpya. Nikianza tunaenda hivi, these guys around ready to fight, but not with guns, seen on TV. Nianza hivi, Mutua Gibini, Alex Yavona, the Holy Spirit, gutana na knees, miaka mbili, na sasa goda tutumia hivi, hindu siri, kwa makini.
It sounded, honestly, that song sounded so fire. We loved it, and we loved recording it. I mean, we loved not recording, but we loved performing it and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we said that one, we were kind of, at that time I think we were kind of compiling, recording with different producers based on the song, because for us that's how we understood process. Like this song, then we're like, I think this song needs this guy. So that's why we even thought Ino and Oh, because it was going to be, it's a song that had the ting 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 ting, so we felt like it had this outcast kind of vibe, and we thought Tim was that guy who was weird enough to be able to do that. And that's how we kind of looked at the music process. Like Arcade, the song he produced, was a very arcade track.
Yes.
So that's how we looked at it. But also recording with Ino was, I think, more expensive than we hoped for. But we paid because we knew this guy, but he's recording my father's. It's fine. It's fine. We can't afford him on a good day.
But at least let's get this one.
Yeah. But so, that was how we kind of was starting into the album.
Okay, nice. So the song with RK also made it in the album?
Yes, it did.
So you went back to RK and now you recorded vocals?
No, we used this track and recorded the vocals ourselves.
So then, now let's talk about the launch of the album plus also your first video.
Yeah.
Let me say, so me, I've just become a gospel musician.
Yeah.
I'm Huko, we are doing gigs in JKUAT. Like we come to do a gig in JKUAT, my first time ever in JKUAT. Then I come in and I see Alex, I think, shows me your studio.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, just come next week.
Yeah, because you met Alex before you met any of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alex I had met. So that's when I came later on to record that song.
Yeah.
There's a song I recorded after this one. I remember. But
yes,
you guys had this uniqueness about you because it was like we're doing a double CD.
Yeah.
I was like, what? So like explain now from that, and then the next thing we were shooting videos in the same place. So tell me about your first video.
Yeah. So
guys don't know this Mutua Matheka. In fact, guys are like, when's the photography coming?
Like when Dana Sena spoke about that and he put that song, everyone was like, huh? I was like, yeah. Some people were shady about it, and I was like, look, guys, what we did we were proud of what we did.
Yeah.
It's not like my music past is not like a shameful one that I try to hide.
Dude, like you were the gospel, I can't call boy band in sense, but then you were very innovative on your performances. How you guys used to dress.
Yeah.
Even how you launched your albums, you had like a double launch. Double CD, like it was very, I'm like, these guys are creative.
The thing is, we loved the process, and we loved that we didn't need it. Like we always were sure that we are not doing music for money, because none of us wanted to leave our careers for music.
Yeah.
We always knew that we would be those architects who do music on the weekend.
But do you understand how, in fact, that's what I'm telling you, I love interviewing guys, because as a musician, you guys were as busy as me.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Including and plus school.
Yeah. So me, in my head, I'm like, what do you mean you're not
full-time musicians? Yeah, because we're always at the same gigs.
We were always gigging together.
Yeah.
So for me, I thought, these guys are also musicians.
And then you find, kumbe, these guys are in school.
All the big gigs, you guys were there.
Yeah.
You get? So it didn't have it be K Crew in Mombasa, whatever it is.
And we did a lot of the missions also with K Crew.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm dwelling on the music. I'm dwelling on the music because this music impacted the gospel music industry. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. So for me, it's not a thing to just pass over. There are people who, in fact, the other day when Kuria started throwing throwback pics, guys started doing a petition for 501 to come back.
I know. I saw that. I'm like, guys. For me, well, I feel like I'm probably the only one who is not good with a comeback, and not because there's any shame in that, but I've always felt I'm the kind of person who in life I appreciate all the stages I go through, and I appreciate the end of them. You know what I mean? Like it's not never say die.
It's just, you know, when that phase ended.
Like appreciate that phase so much.
I hear it.
But it ended, and I really appreciate when things end, and then we get into the new one, the next thing. And the thing for me now is photography.
Okay.
Who knows when it will end? But the day it will end, and I'm sure it has ended. I'm moving on to the next thing.
You're speaking to somebody who understands that. Very many people don't understand that thing of an era ending. So, but then again, let's talk about even your video, the concept behind it. Let's talk about you shooting your first video and the album launch. So
first of all, that double CD was not even like us trying to be innovative. You know, all this time that we were not producing tracks, we were writing music. And then we were 4 guys, and we were compulsory meeting every week. Once a week for sure. I mean, we'd see each other a lot more often. But we said we need to set up at 5-1 time, that's once a week. Sometimes twice a week when you're preparing for something. But once a week for sure. And that once a week, people would come present songs if you have a song. And every time we'd be writing. Because we're just doing music, so we'd be writing things. So you'd find Alex has written something, he comes and says, guys, there's a song idea I have, listen to it. And most of the time you just present what you have. And you're like, someone takes over. So if people like it, that thing might even be written in that one meeting. Sometimes you'd bring a song and people are like, hey, we just play again. Take a paper and pen, and it becomes a writing session.
I've been a solo artist and I've been in a group. So as a solo artist, you have to do everything by yourself. But I was in Chit Chat. In Chit Chat, you come with an idea of a chorus. Mayonde takes it and changes it. Riga adds a verse. Michelle adds
and the song is
chant.
Done.
You just came with an
concept.
Idea.
Yes.
You know.
And that's so helpful, where other people can feel it's like a good bouncing board, which you just present scraps, and they can make it a song. So we had so much music. By the time we were recording, we had like written full songs. We had probably had around 60 songs.
What?
So even for the double album, we had to choose, okay, which one? This one we are not too sure. It's not ready, cleaned up. It doesn't seem to have direction. Let's leave it. So we still left out like maybe 20 songs, because the double CD had almost 80, I think like 15 full songs on each side. And we thought, let's just do a double album, because we don't know when we might get this chance again.
That was sharp.
Because this CD is at the end of our time in school. Let's do this. And so that's what we did. And then featured, of course, there was some artists that we really enjoyed working with and that we loved. Like someone like Dan, we did a song with him, which is still one of my favorite 5-1 songs. Like his song, because Dan, there was a way that he was singing.
Then he was quite cheesy.
That time he was cheesy.
Maliza kukwambia kwamba Yesu akupenda. Ikiwa utakufa kama sijakwambia, basi moyoni mwangu sitawahi kutulia.
nakwambia moyo wangu kamwe hautatulia, hawezi tulia.
And there was something in his voice. And you see, Dan, we met him, in fact, those days of Easy as A, Easy as B. I'm sure he'll kill me for this, but that was the first time we met him at Winners Chapel.
He was a rapper.
Yeah, when he was a rapper at Winners Chapel. And by the way, Dan had always been, I think in my mind, Dan was always kind of visionary. He almost always saw, like, yeah, you need to do this, you need to do this. So we learned a lot from him also. And we saw him as the guy who has some bit of experience. He introduced us to some people. So by the time we did sometimes we led worship at Mavuno downtown with him. So him and Blackman, that's when us guys met them.
Yeah.
And us guys remember being so amazed by their band and how they would put, like those guys, like for us, we'd never experienced anything like that.
Yeah.
So by the time we're in third year or fourth year, we did worship at Mavuno downtown together as 5-1 and done. And I think that's the first time we're like, guys,
Live
we
band.
need to get into this live band thing.
Yep.
Because do you hear how we are sounding? We're like, do you hear? We could have this. We need to find a way for this to happen. Thankfully, because of being in JQuat, anywhere it's just students, you have a bunch of people
Yep.
who are just hungry and they don't have anything else to do with time. So we started working also with a band then, which to us was new and innovative, and it was like, now it's just making us free. Like with a track, once you miss the place you're supposed to start,
Yeah, Nikubaya.
you're gone. With a band, you could just let it slide. And at the same time also, that's when I think at that time was when Giuliani, like that's when we saw Giuliani of back then, when everything was baggy on him.
That's when hip hop were doing bands.
Yeah,
Yes.
Giuliani. And so when Giuliani came into hip hop and you guys started touring together and were doing that with a live band, it was like, this needs to happen.
In
We
fact,
just need to be doing a live band.
Giuliani was even on your album. So
Yeah, he was
Michelle.
on. Yeah,
Yeah.
Giuliani was on it.
So was
We
Bupe,
loved that
so was
song.
me.
Bupe was in there. Michelle was in there on a different. All of them on different songs.
Niaji was saying, yeah, you know how we do, Killer Siku, 501, Nasara, Giuliani, hey, mko tayari?
Listen,
Watu wataeka jina yangu kwa posta, kitambo audience ilikuwa kioo kwa ukuta, ilikuwa either roll call kamiti ama hata call ya kasisi, kumeki tunakunja sleeves, hasa na uzahama na bei ya picha 504, ukiaido utawaido, recipe ya success, ingredients ongeza gold, in the beginning kulikuwa na word, alafu na shindana na gold, squabo, tuna award, shinda hospital, tuna sub awesome gold, msumari liingia kwa mikono, ndiyo slate iwe mpya California mono.
Baba yetu wa mbinguni yeye aliye juu, sababu ya upendo wake yeye ni mkuu, mjinga wake umepita wetu werevu, Mungu wetu ni Mungu mkuu, yeye bado amejawa na utukufu, pia nguvu, yeye ndiye nuru, kila kitu kiko kwake chini ya miguu, Mungu wetu ni Mungu.
God is great, man, greater than imagination. I'm so amazed, it is more than a fascination. He can't be quantified.
So we loved how everything, and that we loved that all these people are friends. That we're like, it's just we can also get them to come hopefully for the album launch. And I think most of you guys came
Yeah.
for the album launch.
At Nairobi Cinema.
Yeah, and then I remember the album launch. Because 5-1, we had this thing where we liked the art of performance. Like, I think it's just the architects in us. We love the idea of a performance is an experience. Like if people are just coming for a performance and hear the song exactly the way it is on the CD, what's the point? And that's where it helped to have Alex as the producer, because we could be like, we need a different feel for this song. It will be like this in the album. Can we do something different
For the live performance.
for the live performance when we couldn't have a band in some things?
Yes.
So he'd make a different thing, and people who know the song, when they hear, they're like, hey,
Nice.
that's a new rendition.
Nice.
I love it. So we loved doing that. And so you remember for the album launch, we did it at Tintin.
Yes. And then you did something at Nairobi Cinema.
And then we did another one at Nairobi Cinema, which was now like supposed to. So the Tintin one, our idea was like, that's the grown.
Yeah, it was like dinner, suits.
Yeah. So it was like, I remember, in fact, that's what we did. Yeah. For the ticket included dinner, and you'd get a CD in the ticket. And it wasn't a cheap ticket. I can't remember how much it was, but it included the CD and dinner. And that one was like, we're in suits.
And this is 2000.
It was chill.
6 or something like that.
Yeah.
That wasn't happening then.
No, it wasn't happening.
What about your video?
And then the video, that's when
Your video,
this guy's
you had
called
a couple
Prince.
of GNPI.
Yeah. Prince at GNPI comes, says
Good News Production International Africa.
Yeah. Because were they new at the time? Or they were just intentionally now getting out to do videos for artists?
They were funded.
Ah, that's what
to
happened.
shoot
Yeah, okay.
videos
Yeah.
as a way of growing the gospel out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I remember he spoke to us after a performance. I can't remember where.
Actually, they were doing. Let me say this. Let me be correct to this. Factual. They were creating. This is how innovative they were. They were creating a DVD Bible study using music videos.
That is incredible.
Yeah. So they were shooting music videos, and then those music videos.
Yes, that's true.
They would
That's
put it
true.
into a
That's
booklet.
true.
So when you're doing the tours, you can leave the DVD there.
Yeah.
For the
And see the videos, which was,
and it had a Bible study for the students.
that's absolutely crazy.
How insane was that then?
That's insane.
Yeah.
And I remember he liked Christ Baller, which at that time was like our biggest
Christ
hit,
Baller was huge.
which we didn't even expect because that was not like our.
And who produced Christ Baller? Was it Alex?
Christ
Twice.
Baller was Alex, yeah. It was like Alex who did it. So we were proud that was an in-house production, everything. And I remember that song, it was so epic to us that it was written in one session, quick. I don't think it took an hour to write. Because I remember Christ Baller, I'd come up with that idea, I wrote the chorus. And then I had a verse that I'd kind of put together.
Yeah.
I presented to the guys, they were like, everyone just started writing because it was like, it was just a fun song.
Yeah.
And for us, it was a song at that time, remember, because when Campo, we're like, honestly, we love our lives. Like at that time, we never felt like we were missing out on anything just because we were Christians in Campo where everything goes.
Yeah.
Because us guys were, and I'm really thankful about that stage in my life because I got to experience things that typically people out there would experience, but with potential danger.
Yeah.
So like we partied, but kind of safely.
Yes.
Like it was safe.
But you also had a good surrounding of people.
Yes.
Which was lucky.
Exactly. So it was a good experience to have where we'd still, us guys, most of the times, most weekends, we'd be dancing till morning. We'd be organizing. Alex would have parties in his room using tapes. And most guys from like our campus ministry group will come and we'd just be dancing till morning. And at that time, you couldn't imagine people are just hanging out, enjoying themselves, dancing all morning, and no alcohol was involved.
Yeah.
So for us, we had so much fun. Like, let me tell you, Campo days were so much fun, and all that fun was in a safe environment, which potentially, like, no one is going to be waking up in a ditch.
Exactly.
No one is going to wake up with bruises and something like that. So there was something about that I really enjoyed, and I hope that my kids can have that same experience of where they experience things, but also in a sort of safe way.
I get it.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Mungependa kusikia vile mimi nase ni testimoni yangu na hawa wase 501 au sio? Mi wanapenda kudishi maze, na ukitaka kujua uliza madhe. Ye upikanga chungu nzima sembe, na kama ni mchele na kula sahani mbele. Vile si using tusikilize, na vile tulimit sio coincidence. Hii ilikuwa ni master plan ya God, the aftermath ya for the chosen ones mazee. By the way, hatujafika, ni yule roho wa Mungu ametushika. Fungua roho yako na wewe sikiza, Christ ballers and then tunawapatia. Nimeokolewa, nimesamehewa, nimesafishwa. Ninampenda Bwana, unanisikiza, unanielewa, unanipata. Mimi ni Christ ballers. Nimeokolewa, nimesamehewa, nimesafishwa. Ninampenda Bwana, unanisikiza, unanielewa, unanipata. Mimi ni Christ ballers. Ningependa tu kuuliza swali tu, ningependa tu kuuliza swali tu. Je, umekombolewa na Yesu? Utapaa juu utakapokufa tu. Si utani tu, misina nia tu. Si watu tu huwa wa kila siku. Si via tu hurutoma usiku. Hisi hela ya kukusaidia, hisi pesa ya kukuokolea. Minalia tu nikifikiri madhambi tunazofanya tu. Yeye alikufa tu juu ya dhambi zangu, na nini sitwa tu, tunamlenga tu. Sitaki tu, minasimama tu, unitambue tu. Sitaki tu, minasimama tu, unitambue tu. Nimeokolewa, nimesamehewa, nimesafishwa. Ninampenda Bwana, unanisikiza, unanielewa, unanipata. Mimi ni Christ ballers. Nimeokolewa, nimesamehewa, nimesafishwa. Ninampenda Bwana, unanisikiza, unanielewa, unanipata. Mimi ni Christ ballers. Niko na furaha yake Mungu ya wokovu, ndiyo nguvu yangu. Wakati wa dhiki, kiangazi, masika, ye bado rafiki wa nguvu. Hakika na kila dakika yunambe daima, waovu si watamane, kwani naweka imani yangu ndani yake.
Hii ni ya mababi na manati, na wote wanaishi maisha bila tumaini. Jameni, penzi hatari kama Yesu Kristo jo wakifa msalabani. Malipo ni sare, samehewa dhambi, ishi jo manake kesho juu yake. Nikiaga leo mimi naenda juu kwake, nikiishi sana naendeleza kazi yake. Mazenipishe nipite, niende nikabishe mlango, na bila shaka nikaribishe. Siko hapa ndiyo nijulikane, sitaki any special VIP treatment. Kile nataka tu ni Mungu anione, na mimi wape hii tu ni Christ ballers anthem.
Nimeokolewa, nimesamehewa, nimesafishwa. Ninampenda Bwana, unanisikiza, unanielewa, unanipata. Mimi ni Christ ballers. Nimeokolewa,
I mean, for me, I found that very strange because I had just come from uni.
Because yeah.
And me, my uni was another whole story.
And I remember you're coming from the other side of things.
From the other side. Your second, you had 2 videos.
Yeah, we did a video. After that, we did a video with Scooby, our friend. He said, you guys, let's shoot a video. And we did a video, I think it was called Binti.
I liked Binti.
Yeah. And that one was also an Alex production.
What?
So we did Binti, and that one was like a song celebrating women.
Yes.
That's exactly what it was written for. And even for the video, I remember we got a lot of our friends who are women in different professions, like in the ones we know.
Yep.
Would be like, Alex's sister was a lawyer, so we asked her, hey, come with your my lawyer things.
Yeah.
We had Noni, my wife, her mom was in the video. So we just wanted like all these women of different generations just come in the video to just have fun.
Sasa tulete mafikeni tano nunge moja mashahiki binti, habari yako? Nataraji kwamba usalama, ingawa nahisi dada kuna jambo kulinalokusumbua. Tafadhali naomba nafasi nipe tujadiliane haya, kwani wastahili mazuri na ningalitaka ujue ya kwamba nafsi yako ni ya kipekee. Binti, jitambue, inua kichwa chako mrembo, malkia furahia jinsi ilivyo. Nafsi yako ni ya kipekee. Binti, jitambue, inua kichwa chako mrembo, malkia furahia jinsi livyo. Wimbo ni wako, watoto wa Afrika. Binti, wimbo ni wako, jana moja. Donsema, furahia jinsi livyo. Twende.
Wewe ngozi ya kusumbua, waofia umbo lako na sura.
Okay. The reason why I dwelled on this, there's a bunch of guys who've watched this video, who've watched this part of the story right now, and they're just like, thank you so much. The nostalgia that I felt through,
I know.
hearing that. And I'm one of them. That's even why.
Yeah, even me, have made me remember some stories that I've forgotten, kabisa.
But now let's move on to, actually, I've not asked the question. At this time, have you held a camera?